Hello children. Now let's go ahead with sentence improvement or sentence correction. Now at first we'll see some of the tips and tricks to solve these questions. Now one of the most scoring as well as tricky part of verbal ability section is sentence correction or sentence improvement. Now here, what is the importance of sentence improvement questions? Actually, it checks your grammar skills, your grammatical ability. So in other words, you need to identify whether the sentence is grammatically correct or a part of it needs to be replaced. Remember that sentence improvement or spotting the errors, they are similar kind of questions. But in the case of sentence improvement, sometimes you have to find out whether you can find out another appropriate phrase for that. So it's not merely correction, but sometimes you have to improve upon that particular phrase. So what do you need to know for that? A few fundamental rules of grammar and correct usage of words. In such questions, you may find a part of the whole sentence in bold or underline, and you are expected to find the correct phrase to replace it. Basically, you need to figure out the grammatical error in that particular part of a sentence. Most of the times, you will find that one of the options repeats the same phrase while the rest rewrite it in different ways. So it's for you to decide whether the given phrase is correct or not. We all have learned the basic grammar rules in our school days. Now let's discuss some important rules and errors so as to tackle questions based on sentence correction. See, already you know the basic rules of grammar. But now you are going to study the advanced grammar. Here you have to concentrate on some of those rules which quite often appear in the examination. Subject-verb agreement. Quite often you will find the questions on this subject-verb agreement. Subject has to agree with the verb. If subject is singular, the verb has to be singular. If the subject is plural, the verb has to be plural. Then you have to find out what is the real subject in the sentence. Because the verb will agree only with the real subject. As the name says itself, the verb used in the sentence should be in accordance with the subject. So sometimes it will be very confusing. Both should be either plural or singular at the same time. The girl was reading. The girls were reading. Very simple one. The girl, singular. Therefore, the verb was. The girls, plural. Therefore, the verb were. Now, let's recall some of the essential rules. Now, in case of collective nouns like police, army, herd, the verb used is singular. You are referring to the collection. But even then you are using singular verb. Similarly, for subjects connected by and, plural verbs are used. But not necessarily all the time. That we'll see. Though we use and, singular verb is used. If the sentence begins with each, anyone, everyone, a singular verb is used. For the sentences that contain either or, neither nor pairs, the verb used will be singular. If both the subjects are singular. In case one or both the subjects are plural, the plural verb is used. Often there arises confusion between the usage of I and me. Remember, I is subjective form, whereas me is objective form. But quite often we use me when we are supposed to use I. That is very confusing. Let's see the following examples. Mary and I joined the sports club. Here Mary and I are the subjects of the sentence. Remember, what comes before the verb, that is subject. What comes after the verb, that is object. One clue I have given to you now. John took Mary and me to the sports club. Here Mary and me are the objects. So to, that is a verb, and after verb what is followed is me. Similarly, in case of comparison, I is used with the other subject. He is shorter than I am. Another important thing to identify here is the correct usage of pronouns as per the subject and object. In some cases, long sentences are given without the required verb. That calls for an answer option with the required missing verb. Now repetition. Sometimes there is a redundancy in the sentence. In other words, the same thing is written twice in a single statement. Most of the times you can spot such errors easily. I returned back from Goa. That's incorrect. I came back from Goa. And if you say I returned, it's okay. You can say I returned from Goa. That's correct. But you need not use back there. You can say come back. Okay, I came back from Goa. That's fine. But you can't use with return back there. So that's incorrect. So that's called redundancy. When already returned, it is understood, then there is no point in using back there. So you should write I came back, or you can say I returned from Goa. Now error in modifiers. As you can guess from the name itself, modifiers modify the subject. So where do you think should the modifiers be placed? Yes, they need to be placed next to the subject it modifies. Example, sitting in the garden, a scorpion stung her. Here you can't figure out who is sitting in the garden. The scorpion or the girl. This is an incorrect way. So it will not give the correct meaning. The correct way would be sitting in the garden, she was stung by a scorpion. Now parallelism. What exactly can be parallelism in sentence? Well, it relates to the structure of the sentence. Putting it other ways. The different phrases or words performing the same function should be used in the same format. Sonia likes to dance, sing and cook. Sonia likes dancing, singing and cooking. Sonia likes to dance, sing and cooking. That's wrong. Either say to dance or you use dancing. So you have to use similar kind of phrases there. Error in diction. A diction error refers to the error in choice of words. So diction means choice of words or phrases. At other times, even some idioms occur in sentences in an incorrect way. Common pair of words and phrases where you may face diction error are affect versus effect. The effect of the decision. Affect the outcome. Adapt versus adopt. Argue against versus argue with. Later versus latter. Lay versus lie. Few versus less. So in the sentences we'll see all these. Then you'll be able to understand it better. The meanings also are different in the case of adapt, adopt, later, latter. So wrong comparisons. Sometimes the comparisons are made between dissimilar things or in an incorrect way. Example, John is wiser than all men. Wrong. John is wiser than all other men. Correct way. John needs to be excluded from the rest of the same category. In the above example, comparative degree is used. But in case of superlative degree, the person or thing compared is included in the rest of the class. For example, John is the strongest of all men. Strongest of. The strongest of all men. So now you are aware of the errors that may occur in questions based on sentence correction. The next step should be to devise a strategy to answer these questions in an accurate and timely manner. Keep the following things in mind while tackling a sentence correction question. Now here, identify the concept. The very reason above stated rules were discussed. Generally in such questions, one or two rules are used inappropriately. So the first task is to identify the particular kind of errors. Keep an eye on the time indicators before, after, during. This can help you spot the verb tense errors easily in some cases. The whole sentence needs to be rewritten. Now, similar answer choices. Sometimes the given answer options are very close to each other. They display very less difference. So you need to be extra careful in the examination of such choices. Read the full statement before selecting your answer. Also, if there are 2 or 3 similar answer options, that doesn't mean one of them must be the right choice. So whenever you are confused, just take your own time. Find out the right choice there. The actual answer may be the completely dissimilar one. Then treat all options equally. While going through the answer options, you may feel the initial particular option is correct and neglect the remaining. No, it shouldn't happen. You should read all the options and then find out the right one. It is advised to go through all the options before deciding your answer choice. Pay attention to the non-underlined part. It is common to ignore the non-underlined part of the sentence, but this part may contain vital hints about the kind of error as well as the required answer. Remember, here it's a traditional grammar which is very important. What we speak, it is not that is asked in the examination. So spoken language, whatever we speak, it is not that it is always correct. And they will be giving you marks on the basis of the traditional grammar. So that's why you have to refer Rain and Martin books, so that you should be equipped with good grammar skills. Now substitute the selected answer. Before you mark your selected answer, it is good idea to read the sentence along with the answer option. In fact, it would be great if you read it a second time after the correct insertion. Also, sometimes error is caused in an exceptional rule and not the usual standard rules. So make sure the sentence makes sense. If it still seems too complex, listen to the sentence. In other words, say the sentence in your head and choose the option that sounds best to your ears. Elimination technique. Multiple errors in a sentence and similar answer choices complicate matters. So here elimination strategy comes to your rescue. So eliminate. When you find that this is the wrong answer, eliminate that. Don't think about that. This technique proves effective in any kind of question. There will be some options that change the meaning of the sentence while some make it grammatically incorrect. So once you eliminate 1 or 2, then only 2 will be left. Then you can find out very easily, because depending upon the tense. If in one particular clause, if there is a present tense, remember that in the another clause there will be present tense only. If it's simple past tense, in another clause there will be past tense itself. It will be past perfect tense. So you have to find out which tense is used. So likewise you have to eliminate, or which particular phrase is used, which is more appropriate. Maybe you will be confused with only 2. Then first you eliminate remaining 1 or 2. Then it will be easier for you to find out the right answer. Do not eliminate options with idioms or pronounce ambiguity in the first go. These pose problem only when the meaning of the sentence is altered. The options with ing form is mostly incorrect and can be rejected outright. In some cases, the word pair just as so, not only, but also, etc. is used incorrectly. So sometimes those phrases like no sooner, then in place of then they will give when, no sooner did, or hardly, when in place of when they will give then. So these pairs you have to keep it in mind. No sooner than, hardly, when, scarcely, when. If you are familiar with all that, not only something else will be given. So once you are familiar with these word pairs, you will not commit mistakes. Finally, do not get stuck with a particular answer choice. If it appears confusing to you, go through the rest and eliminate the obvious ones first. So you go through all the rest of the options and eliminate which you feel that is obviously not the correct answer. That you first eliminate, and then it will be easier for you to find out the right choice.